Hey guys, this video is going to be me reading the primary source for today out loud. So if you haven't watched the actual lesson video, do that first. That gives you the background, and I modeled the assignment on that lesson. So it's very important that you watch that and know what you're doing. But if you've done that and now you want to do the assignment, and if you feel it's helpful to hear it read aloud to you, then just keep watching, and that's what I'm going to do for you guys, okay? I do want to point out real quick that we have the primary source on this document and the questions, so it's all in one place. So I'm going to start out by reading the background about Josiah Henson. So this is going to be about Josiah Henson. In italics is the background. Josiah Henson spent 30 years on a plantation in Montgomery County, Maryland. He eventually escaped slavery and became a Methodist preacher and abolitionist, which is somebody who spoke out against slavery. Later, he founded a colony of former enslaved people in Canada. Below is an excerpt from his autobiography. He describes his living conditions as an enslaved person. Okay, so here's where is actually the stuff that Josiah Henson wrote. In ordinary times, we had 2 regular meals in a day. Breakfast at 12 o'clock after laboring from daylight, and supper when the work of the remainder of the day was over. In harvest season, we had 3. Our dress was of tow cloth. For the children, nothing but a shirt. For the older ones, a pair of pantaloons, which means pants, or a gown in addition, according to the sex. Besides these, in the winter, a round jacket or overcoat, a wool hat once in 2 or 3 years for the males, and a pair of coarse shoes once a year. So he's describing some of the clothing they got. And then he says, we lodged in we lodged in log huts, and now lodged means lived. And it says, and on the bare ground. So I kind of mentioned that in the background section. Wooden floors were an unknown luxury. In a single room were huddled like cattle, 10 or a dozen persons, men, women, and children. All ideas of refinement and decency were, of course, out of the question. We had neither beds nor furniture of any description. Our beds were collections of straw and old rags thrown down in the corners and boxed in with boards. A single blanket, the only covering. Our favorite way of sleeping, however, was on a plank, our heads raised on an old jacket and our feet toasting before the smoldering fire. The wind whistled and the rain and snow blew in through the cracks, and the damp earth soaked in the moisture until the floor was miry as a pigsty. Such were our houses. In these wretched hovels, which basically means small, dirty houses, were we penned at night and fed by day. Here were the children born, and the sick were neglected. So in that last paragraph, you get a lot of details about what the housing conditions were like for an enslaved person, okay? So you would go through and answer each of these questions. Number 1 says, who wrote it? Number 2 says, what is the letter about? So it's just a general topic. Number 3, what are the 3 to 4 most important details from the letter? And number 4, what is the main idea this letter shows about life for an enslaved person? This actually wasn't a letter, it's from an autobiography, but just, we're gonna call it letter for now because I made a typo there. Okay, that should cover it for that. You just need to take that info and complete the assignment. All right, have a good one.